Hello. It's my favorite people. What's up, guys? Okay, so I wanted to hop on here really quick. It's not going to be long, but I wanted to share something that I know is really going to help your business. And so I'm going to share 5 tips with you today. And I actually do have a free guide. So if you would like that free guide, comment me in the comments and I will send that over to you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. If you're watching with me live, please hashtag live so I know that you're with me. And then if you're catching the replay, please hashtag replay in the comments if you're watching me for the first time. Hi, so nice to have you here. My name is Jessica Holland. I've been in direct sales for a little over 7 years now, and it is my true passion to help others in network marketing and direct sales. Teach them how to build their brand online, how to attract customers to you and not you going crazy, blowing up their DMs. Okay, so I think that's really important. So I teach network marketers and direct sellers how to build your brand online, how to grow your online influence, and how to grow your profits essentially. So I'm excited to have you here. So let me know where you're watching from, and we're going to go ahead and jump in. Okay. All right. So tip number one. Okay, so we're talking about Facebook today. All right. So one thing that you can do to build relationships, to grow your influence, which initially is going to lead to more leads, more sales, and more recruits. Okay. So this is some things that you're going to want to do daily. Okay. Daily. And it's not going to take you very long. So don't freak out. Don't think it's going to take like a really long time because I wouldn't be sharing this if it hasn't worked for me personally. I like to teach from experience because I know, I mean, specifically just in the last week, I mean, I have sold a ton in the last week from these tips that I'm going to share with you today. Okay. So, number one is responding to stories. Okay, we're talking about stories, your Facebook stories, and how important they are. I hope that you're utilizing stories. I hope that you're posting daily in your stories, and your stories need to be a mix. It need to be a mix of fun, family, and your business. So it doesn't just need to be all about your business. Same as your profile doesn't need to be just all about your business. Okay. So when you're posting in stories, make sure that it's a mix, a fun mix. Okay. About 80% is fun, family, and value. Okay. And 20% is business posts. Okay. One thing that you can do in your stories is do things that people are going to respond to, like asking questions, doing a poll, asking for their opinion on something. I mean, and it doesn't even have to be anything related to your business. It could be something totally off the wall, like, hey, what is your favorite soup? Because it's soup season. It's chilly weather. Like, we're excited because it's fall. It could be something as simple as that. So let me tell you why this is important. If some of you don't know, okay, you could have a really large friends list, okay? That does not mean that they are seeing your post. So your profile has to be connected to their profile in order for them to see what you're actually posting. So if you're discouraged because you're posting all the time and no one is liking what you're posting, no one is commenting, no one is sharing, no one is tagging in your post, it's probably because they're simply not seeing your post because they're not connected to your profile. So the way that you get them connected to your profile is through Facebook Messenger. Okay. So if you have not had a conversation with this person, if you have not messaged them on Facebook Messenger, if they have not messaged you and you have not responded, then they are not connected to your profile, which means they're not seeing your content. They're not seeing what you're posting. So I'm going to tell you a couple different ways that you can get them connected to your profile. And number one is stories, through you posting stories and you responding to stories. Okay. So get creative when you're creating your stories, when you're posting things in your stories. Like I said, keep it a mix of fun, family, and value. And then I see someone said, I had no idea. Facebook user. I forgot to mention at the top, make sure you always click that link at the top that grants StreamYard permission so you can leave comments, because I don't know who's commenting right now. I see that you're commenting, but it doesn't say your name if you don't click that link above in the description. Okay, so stories are really, really important. So when you're posting stories, make sure that you are doing things that are asking questions, something that they're going to have to respond to, not just posting a picture. And a lot of people don't realize that, and I do it too. Sometimes I just post pictures. If you guys ever watch my stories, sometimes I get in a hurry and I don't, put a question or whatever, but you always really want to ask a question. So you could do polls. You could just simply put up a picture and ask a question about like what I just said. Like, what is your favorite soup? It's soup weather, it's chili season. Like, what's your favorite? I'd love for you to share your recipe with me or whatever. Like, I always relate to cooking because I went to culinary art school. I love to cook. I hate to clean. So a lot of my stuff is about food because I love food. Can you tell? Okay, so stories. So make sure that you are posting in your stories daily, okay? And there is really no amount that you can overload on stories. On your feed, that's a little bit different, but you can post all kinds of stuff in your stories, and it doesn't really matter how many times that you post in your story because it's only there for 24 hours and then it's going to disappear anyway. Okay, so on the flip side of that, daily, you need to make it a point to go through other people's stories and respond to their stories. Okay, because when you respond to their stories and they respond to your stories, it puts them in your Facebook Messenger. Isn't that awesome? Without having to be weird, without having to be salesy, without having to be slimy and like randomly, getting in their DMs and their instant messengers and being like, hey, what's up? Hey, you want to buy my product? You want to join my team? Because nobody likes that. Nobody likes a salesperson. Nobody wants to be sold to, you guys. They don't want to be sold to, but they want to be engaged with. They want to give you their opinion. People love to give their opinion. Okay, so making sure that you're putting things in your stories daily that people are going to have to respond to. Okay, try to ask questions as much as possible, and then you responding to at least 10 people's stories a day, and try to make that a 10 different people every single day so that you're interacting with people that you don't normally interact with. Okay, so when you send them that message, when you respond to their story, it's going to put you in their Facebook Messenger. And when you reply to their story, try to reply with a question so that they have to answer you back. So that starts a conversation. Okay, that is going to connect them to your profile. If they're not connected to your profile, they're not seeing your content. Okay, so number one is all about stories. Okay, and number two is going through your Facebook feed. Okay, guys, I cannot tell you how many times I see this, and I'm guilty of it too. I've been guilty of it in the past, and every day I try to get better about it. But it's called social media for a reason. Okay, you're supposed to be social. People post things all the time. You post things all the time, and you expect people to like it. You expect people to comment. You expect people to share it. But you're not doing that to other people. You're not liking other people's posts. You're not commenting. You're not sharing their posts. So why are they going to like, comment, and share your posts? Okay, it goes both ways. All right. So what I want you to do is every single day, mark out time for this. And it literally, you could do this in 10 minutes, you guys. It doesn't have to be extravagant, but go when you're scrolling your feed. Dude, we do this all day long. Like, we're like scroll, 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 but we never like, we never comment, we never share. We're just scrolling. We're scrolling. We see it, but we don't interact with the people. So that's what you have to do. You have to interact. You have to engage. If you want them to engage with you, you have to engage with them. Shelby said she could be better about this. Girl, I know we are all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. And what I try to do is I try to post things, and then like if I don't set aside a specific, like block out a specific time of the day and say, okay, like I will literally have to set a timer on my phone and be like, this is my reminder. When this reminder goes off, I say, okay, this is the 10 minutes that I'm going to dedicate today to responding to the comments from the post that I made earlier that day. Okay. Because the more likes, the more comments, the more shares, the more it's going to show in your friend's feed. And you want that, especially, I mean, if you're trying to sell anything, if you're trying to recruit, if you're trying to build rapport, if you have a business, a coaching business, whatever you have, okay, whatever product, service that you provide. Okay, if you just post it one time and nobody likes it, nobody comments, nobody shares, and you're just putting it out there, like every time someone comments, you need to go back and respond to their comment. Every single comment. It doesn't even matter if they just like put a smiley face, like respond to the comment, because every time you comment, every time they comment, it keeps bumping your post back up to the top of the feed, back up to the top of the feed. So more and more people will see it. Okay. Because if they don't log on to Facebook and they don't scroll during the 20 minutes that you post whatever you're posting or go live or whatever you're doing, if they don't see it then, chances are they're not going to see it later unless you have that activity and that engagement going, because it's going to keep showing it over and over and over throughout the day. Okay. So social media is like a highway. I've said this before, but it's literally like you're on a highway and you keep passing these signs. Okay. And it's like the same sign. It's a mile marker. So you see, okay, 10 miles, 5 miles, 2 miles, 1 mile, whatever, to your next exit, right? Well, when you're driving, you ignore a lot of those signs. That's kind of like social media. Like, what are you putting out there that is going to make them stop their scroll and pay attention to what you're putting out? So you really can't be too loud. And what that means is, I've heard a lot of people say this to me recently, like, I'm scared to post about my product. I'm scared to post about my service. I'm scared to post about my opportunity because I think people don't want to see that. Or, okay, well, number one, it depends on how you're posting. Okay. And number two, if they don't want to see it, if they don't want to hear about it, then guess what? They're not your tribe. They're taking up space for the ones that do, because there's people out there that want your product, your opportunity, or your service that you provide. So you have to put that out there, or they don't know that you even do it, you guys. Like, so you have to put yourself out there. You cannot be too loud. Okay. And Shelby, I'm calling you out since you're on here live. You're really great about being consistent and posting. Like, I see your post every single day. Every single day. Like, every time I scroll, I don't scroll without seeing your name. Okay. And that's because you're consistent. You're consistent in posting. So that is really good. That's a really great start. Okay. So let me see. I have to go back to my notes. Okay. So stories was number one. You posting in stories, several times a day, at least 10 a day, at least 10 posts to your stories a day. And things that you post on your newsfeed can also be shared into your stories. So don't think you have to come up with, two different pieces of content, just because they're in two different places. It can be the same piece of content. Girl, you're not getting on people's nerves. And you know what? If you're getting on people's nerves, those aren't your people. And they're, like I said, they're taking up space. They don't need to be there anyway. Okay. Because you're going to attract the people that want your product, that want your service, that want your opportunity. And so those people, they love that you share all the time. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm one of those. I love seeing your pictures. I think that's awesome. So just keep doing what you're doing. And the ones that don't want to see it, they'll unfriend you or they'll unfollow you. And guess what? They just did you a favor because you didn't want them there anyway. Okay. Okay. So, and then commenting on people's posts. So you need to comment. Pick 10 posts that you're going to comment every single day, 10 different people. Okay. And if that means going down your friends list and going to their actual profile, because guess what? You're probably not connected to their profile. So you're probably not seeing their content. So when you're going to their actual profile and you're commenting, they're seeing your name and they're like, oh, well, who's this chick? Because I haven't seen her comment on a while, or I haven't seen her my post, for a while, or ever, maybe. And so they're seeing your name, like in their notifications. They're saying, oh, okay, there's Shelby. Okay, Shelby liked my post. Shelby commented on my post. Shelby shared my post, like whatever, right? I'm just using Shelby as an example. Okay, so you want them seeing your name, okay? Because they're gonna go to your profile and they're gonna check you out and they're gonna like be, who's this chick? Like, who is liking who's liking my post? Who's commenting? Who's sharing? Who's responding into my story? Because you're someone who hasn't really done it before or hasn't done it in a while, okay? So they're gonna go check out your profile, okay? We could do a whole nother training on profiles. We've touched on it a few times about how important your profile is, that when someone lands on your page, you have 3 to 5 seconds for them to be like, okay, do I need to be here? Is this something that I'm interested in? And what I mean by that is, like, your banner on your Facebook page should be very specific to the people that you serve. Okay. And I don't mean, it does not need to vomit whatever company you're with. It does not need to say Tupperware on your banner, or, in your description when it says I work for Tupperware, or Young Living, or I don't know, whatever company you're with. Okay. And I'm not calling out any specific ones for any specific reasons, because every company does it, and it's not good. Okay. That's not how you attract people. Because when people land on your page and they see that, they're like, oh, she just wants to sell me something. That's the only reason she's commenting. That's the only reason that she's liking. That's the only reason that she's sharing. That's the only reason she's engaging with me, is because she wants to sell me something. Okay. You don't want them to think that. You don't want them to think that you're a slimy salesperson. Okay. All right. So pick 10 people on your friends list that you're going to go over there to their profile. You're going to check them out. You're going to learn something about them. You're going to like their post. You're going to comment on something, whatever it is. Okay. So that they start seeing your name. All right. Okay. Next is groups, you guys. Groups. Dude, groups are like the best place to find leads. Okay. All right. So you really want to join groups. You want to join groups that you have interest in. Okay. So let's say that you love to sew. Okay. I can't sew, but, or if you love to garden, maybe you love to garden. Really, these groups that you're joining, they need to have nothing to do with your product, your service, or your opportunity. It needs to be something totally separate that you actually really enjoy, a hobby that you have, something that you know a lot about, or that you like, or that someone comes to you for advice on, like, all the time. You're like, oh yeah, this is like my gardening chick. Like, she has a green thumb. Like, they're going to come ask you all tips about gardening. Okay. So maybe because you love the garden, right? So you join some gardening groups. Go to the Facebook search bar, type in gardening. I promise you're going to have like a billion groups pop up, right? Okay. So when you get accepted into these groups, just join a few, make 2 or 3 maybe, and you're going to figure out which ones you like really quickly and which ones you don't really care for. All right. So when you get accepted into these groups, really, really important, you're going to introduce yourself. And when you introduce yourself, your introduction needs to have a picture of you. Okay. Pictures just convert better. So, or maybe it's a picture of you and your family or something, but it needs to be a picture of you and a description of you. Like, tell all about you, right? Okay. So you get into this gardening group, and, or I'm going to say, I'm gonna switch it from gardening because I don't know anything about gardening. Um, I join cooking groups because I like to cook. I have a culinary arts degree. I love to cook. I love to eat. Okay, so I am in a lot of groups about cooking. All right, so I'll join these groups and I'll introduce myself and be like, "Hey, I'm Jessica. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 3 kids. 3, 2, and 3 months old, or whatever. Braylon will be 2 tomorrow. Braxton's 3, and then Blakely just turned 3 months. Okay, so I have 3 kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a single mom. I love to cook. Here's some of my favorite recipes, or here's some of my favorite things I like to cook or eat, or whatever. And then always end your post with a question. Okay, it needs to be something that they want to engage with. Okay. So say, like, I would love for you to tell me, what are your favorite recipes? What are your favorite things that you love to cook? Hey, why don't you share your favorite recipe in the comments, or, whatever. Okay. So every time there's going to be so many comments, because people love to give you their opinion. Okay. Even when you don't ask for it, but mostly when you ask for it, especially when you ask for it. So respond to every single comment, you guys. There's going to be probably hundreds of comments depending on how big your group is. Okay, so every time someone comments, you go back and respond to them and have a little conversation with them in the comments. And because it's something about, because it's something you actually like, you don't have to fake it. You don't have to be like, well, I don't really know anything about this, I'm just in this group to try to get leads. Okay, well, that's going to show, right? You're in that group to make friends. And sometimes, you guys, you're going to be in groups and you're going to make friends, and they may never buy your product. They may never join your team. They may never want whatever service it is you provide. And guess what? That's okay. because you are there to build relationships. Okay. You have got to build the like, no, trust factor. Y'all are going to hear me say that over and over and over and over again, because when people like, know, and trust you, that's when they buy from you. That's when you build that Oprah factor. Okay, like I said before, everybody knows Oprah, right? Everybody knows Oprah. And so when Oprah says something, everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that because Oprah said it. Or Oprah said that was the best diet plan, or this was the best whatever. Like, this cream's going to get rid of your wrinkles or whatever. But just because Oprah said it, they're going to get it, right? So you can build that with your audience. Okay, when they like, know, and trust you, they're going to buy from you. So when you put something out there and you say, you know what, this is my favorite product, I love it, this is what it's done for me, just wanted to share about it, you know, got rid of my wrinkles, it helped me lose 10 pounds, you know, whatever it is, right? They like, know, and trust you, so they're going to buy it from you. All right. Okay, so groups. So introducing yourselves into groups, always put a picture, always ask a question at the end of your introduction so that you get them commenting, and then make sure that you're responding to all of those comments. And when you're doing that, what's going to end up happening is you're going to go over and you're going to check out their profile. And don't think they're not doing the same thing to you. Okay. And like I said, that's why it's so important for you to clean up your profile, for it not to look like, oh my God, my whole life is Pampered Chef. My whole life is Avon. My whole life. They don't want to see that. They're like, yep, she's trying to sell me something. People don't want to be sold to. Okay. All right. So the next thing is add 10. Okay. This might sound crazy. And I do it. And I've done it for a while now. And it's partly how I've grown my Facebook list and how I've made so many friends is online. And a lot of people become my friends that you would never know we didn't meet in person, because I build relationships. Okay. And even if those people never buy from me or they never join my team, it's okay, because they like, know, and trust you. And maybe if your product or service isn't for them, maybe your opportunity isn't for them, and that's okay. But they will give you referrals. Okay. That is a whole nother way to grow your business, is through referrals. So, you know, maybe your opportunity isn't for Sarah, but it's for her friend Katie. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to tell her friend Katie about you. So building those relationships is what it all comes down to. You have to come from a place of service. You have to show up. You have to be consistent, and you have to provide value. That is the most important thing. Should I accept friend requests from people I don't know under the assumption they are interested in? Yes. Okay. So you can choose if you want to build your profile on your personal or build your brand on your personal profile, or build your brand on like a business page. I have both. And honestly, I think it's easier to build on your personal profile. And in the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Like I went through a period of time where I quit posting anything personal about my life. I was scared to share pictures of my kids, because I'm just like, you know, the world is crazy. You don't ever know about somebody. I have so many people on my friends list. I don't even know who's on my friends list, you know. But at a point, you just gotta stop. You gotta stop being scared. I mean, if you're gonna build a brand, I personally believe the best place to do it is on your personal profile. And you got to be personal on your personal profile, right? Because if you're just sharing about your business all the time, people are like, well, you know, they want to know about you. They want to know about your life. They want to know about your kids. They want to be able to connect with you. They want to know that you're a real person, that you make mistakes, that you're not perfect, because guess what? That's what people relate to. Okay. If I showed up all the time and I was like perfect, I don't think anybody would watch me, because that's not relatable. That's not real life. Do you know what I'm saying? So be you. Okay. There's only one you. You can't be anybody else, and don't try to be anybody else, because your tribe is going to be attracted to you, the real you. So brand you yourself, not your company. Okay. So yes, I think accepting friend requests is fine. Now, I always check out someone's profile before I accept it, just because there's so many fake profiles out there. But yeah, I add 10 a day. That's like my thing. Okay. So I will add 10 people a day to my friends list. Right. And my company, I sell skincare and cosmetics. So obviously my target audience is women, generally 25 to 55. That's the people that I generally attract. And then on the other side, my branding business, that's anybody in direct sales or network marketing. Okay. So how I find clients for that is, if and people add me all the time also. So if I click on your profile and I see that I'm in love with Pampered Chef, and I'm all Color Street, and I'm all Young Living, and I'm all whatever. Like, if I can scroll and that's all I see is your company post, I'm like, okay, this person definitely needs my help, because they're not building a brand that way. Okay, if you're branding your company and not you, you're making a big mistake. And it's not that your company's not a great company. I'm sure that all of you are with great companies, wonderful companies. I know you all have great products to sell. I know you have a great business opportunity. Okay. But let's say, what happens if your company closes? What happens if your agreement gets terminated? What happens if you get ill, sick, you can't work anymore, and your team stops producing or you stop producing? Then what? Okay. If you've only branded your company, okay, people only like you because you branded your company, and they know if you quit or if you go to another company, they're going to go somewhere else, right? They're going to go wherever they can find that product that they got. All right. But if you brand you, okay, you brand you, even if you were to switch companies, they're going to follow you wherever you go. Okay. Not your company. So that's really, really, really important. And that's why this group is so important. Building your brand. You're branding you and not your company. Okay, I never even thought about that. You were made for this. Oh, thank you so much, Shelby. You guys, I want to help everybody. Okay, and how I got into this, totally off topic, was because in my company's been in business for over 50 years. Okay, so we've been around a long time. We're a debt-free company. We're family owned. I can go on and on about the great things about my company, but one thing that's not great about my company is they don't teach this. They teach the opposite of this. And 7 years ago, you could have vomited your company all over your Facebook page. You could hashtag your company all day long. You can just that could be everything you were strictly posting on your page, and that was okay. You still got sales, you still got recruits. That is not today. That's not the world we're living in today. Everybody's selling something. Everybody is in direct sales. Everybody is in network marketing. So when you scroll your feed and that's all you see, you get tired of it really fast. Okay. So people are going to unfriend you. They're going to unfollow you because they're like, dude, this girl just wants to sell me crap. I don't want to keep seeing this. And so, you know what? That's what's going to happen. So that's why you need to brand you and not your company. Okay. Off my soapbox about that. Anyway, so introducing yourself in groups, and then adding 10 friends a day. And like I said, I don't just add anyone. I check out their profile before I add them. And then this is key too. When they actually accept your friend request, send them a message directly and say, hey girl, thanks for adding me. Can't wait to get to know you. Whatever. I mean, it needs to be genuine. You know what I'm saying? Because sending that message to them is connecting them to your profile. Okay. So this is what you want. You want connection to your profile. All right. And then the last one is birthday messages. And I've talked about this before, but dude, I'm telling you, people love it. They love it. All right. When you get that notification in the morning, I know everybody, first thing you get up in the morning, you look at your phone, you get these notifications from Facebook, and it says, so-and-so, Sarah, and 10 others have birthdays today. Okay. Send them a birthday message in their messenger. Don't write on their wall. Send them a message in Messenger. Why? Because it connects you to their profile. They're connected to your profile, and it needs to be a genuine message. It needs to be a voice message. Okay. Really important. And you need to say their name. Okay. So if their name is Shelby, hey, happy birthday, Shelby. I just want to wish you a happy birthday. Hope you have a great, amazing day. Whatever it is, make it genuine, make it specific to you, and send that message. Y'all, I can't tell you how many people that I've got messages from that are just that literally, that message takes 5 to 7 seconds to send, and it makes their whole freaking day. All right, it makes their whole freaking day. I've had so many people respond to me and say they have never received a message like that, and they were just like, oh my gosh, girl, you just made my day, thank you so much for telling me happy birthday, whatever. Okay, just doing that. Like, you're not in their inbox trying to sell them anything. You're building relationships. Okay. Now, when I send Shelby a happy birthday message and she responds back to me and says, hey, thanks, girl. Thanks for telling me happy birthday or whatever. Oh, that was so sweet. Whatever she says, that is going to connect her to your profile. Okay. Then she's going to start seeing what you're posting. You're liking her post, you're commenting on her post, so that it's not weird when you do send her a message, because you've already built the like, no trust factor. She knows who you are. She knows you have a dog. She knows you have kids. That is building relationships. So recap. Hey, and if you want this, like everything I'm talking about today, I created a free guide for that. Put free guide in the comments and I will send that over to you, or put me in the comments and I will send that over to you. Because if you were like doing something else and you're half listening, or you didn't take notes, which I mean, I know I'm like that a lot of times, and you want that free guide, I'll send that over to you. So number one was stories. You posting stories and responding to stories, 10 a day. Okay. Different people every single day. You commenting, liking on 10 posts a day that you don't normally, people that you don't normally interact with. So 10 different posts every single day, 10 different people every single day. Okay. And then groups, introducing yourself into groups. Make sure that you have a picture, make sure you're responding to all their comments. And then when you're having those connections, like, who you're vibing with. Do you know what I mean? Like, hey, I like this chick. Like, she could like legit be my friend in real life, because you're going to make those connections. You're going to build friends online. Like, this is the world we live in today. Okay. Yes, it was COVID, but before COVID and now, even with COVID and after it's gone, whatever, after election, I'm sure it's going to disappear. Anyway, after that, this online thing ain't going away. Okay. You got to show up. You got to go live, y'all. You got to go live. That's a whole nother training. But anyways, so introducing yourself in groups, connecting with those people. And when you're vibing with those people, send them a friend request. Okay. Because it's not weird after you've had a conversation with them. Okay. And then you're adding 10 to your profile, and then birthday messages. Make sure you send those birthday messages. So if you want that free guide, comment me or comment free guide in the comments and I'll send that over to you. So I hope that was helpful. Hashtag helpful in the comments if that was helpful. Hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. Hashtag live if you were watching this live with me today. Thanks for tuning in. This was like a really impromptu training, because I was like, dude, I got both the babies to sleep. Let me just hop on really quick. And now I'm looking at the time and I'm like, oh man, I got to go, because I got to go pick up my son from school. So y'all have a great Thursday. I'm excited. Go build your brand and build it loud, build it proud. All right. I'm excited to be here for you. I'm excited to cheer you on. I hope that this group is helpful. I hope that you get some value from it. Like I said, if you get value from this, if you learn something new today, hashtag value in the comments, hashtag helpful in the comments. I just love being here. I love being here for y'all. So until next time. All right. Y'all have a good day.